Hey guys, Mr. T here for another video. Today's video is, well, as you can see, I have in my office. I know I've done some live videos where you can see my face before, but I think this is my first one in my home office. You can see all the stuff. That's my wife. It's my wife's desk over there. You can see all the stuff my son got her. You can see all my little Pokemon stuff. It's all weird, getting all flipped around. You can see my Charizard, and then my other Charizard, and my Arceus way over there, and my Cresselia. Yeah. All right. So now that we, talked about my room, my Charizard shirt, I think you guys have an idea of what this video is about. It's a Pokemon video. Again, I know. How dare, the Pokemon Ultra Nerd do a Pokemon video. What I wanted to do today is I really want to do a video showcasing Pokemon cards because I love Pokemon cards. I'm a huge Pokemon card collecting nerd. I know, shocker, right? And I really wanted. I just opened the new Mega Evolution set. I actually got one of the pre-release bundles, and I actually pulled the Mega Lucario, the special art rare. Now, some of you are thinking, "Oh my God, how could you pull that and then not show it in this video?" Hint, hint. But I just thought, you know what? It's time I tell you guys what some of my favorite Pokemon cards are. So with this video, I'm going to show you. I'm actually going to make two videos. The first one is just non-Charizard, because let's be honest, if I included Charizard in the grand list, 80% of the list would be Charizard cards. So this is going to be two videos. This first one is going to be my favorite Pokemon cards that I personally own. And then the next video is going to be Charizard. So it's non-Charizard and then Charizard, because there's enough. I own enough Charizard cards to do a whole video on just him. Shocker, right? Alright. So this first video, so these are based on the cards themselves, not necessarily the Pokemon in the card. Some of these Pokemon are like, okay, they're cool, but they wouldn't be on a favorite list of mine if it was the Pokemon. But the cards are really cool, or the card has some type of sentimental value or something like that to me. So let's go ahead and dive in. So my number 10, this comes from the 151 series, and this is actually a pretty basic card. Like I probably have 50 of this card. But there's something about this specific card that makes it kind of special. So I have my Pidgey, right, from 151. And and here's the thing. You're probably thinking, why the heck is a Pidgey on your top 10 list? It's because of this right here. You see that? If you don't know what I'm talking about, look at the other side. Okay? I actually pulled this card like that. So you can see how it never got cut and it still has the pointy end on it. It's a mistake. And it's kind of rare. I actually looked it up. And there was only a handful of cards in the 151 series where it didn't get fully cropped all the way around to make it nice and circular edges. So I just thought that was cool that I actually pulled a card with a mistake. And for those of you who know Pokemon cards, you know that when a card has a mistake on it, it actually in some cases makes it more rare. I went through one of the AI appraisers, and because of that, this card's worth like 20 or 30 bucks when the regular Pidgey is worth like 20 cents. Like I said, I had like 50 of these Pidgeys just sitting in a box somewhere because it's not rare. But I think that's just kind of cool. So it was kind of cool that we were actually able to pull something like this. So that's my number 10. My number 9, the Pokemon on the card, it kind of helped with this. Again, I didn't say that wasn't going to be part of it. I just said it wasn't the only factor. So my number 9 comes from Crown Zenith, and that is Mareep. I love Mareep. It's one of my favorite first evolution Pokemon, and then Ampharos is one of my favorite third evolution Pokemon. Actually, just one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. It's on my top 10 list. I've loved it, Mareep and Ampharos, and even Flaffy too. I almost put Flaffy on this list. I have the Flaffy illustration rare as well. And I just love this Pokemon. It's a cool little sheep Pokemon. It's got that fun little face on it. It's all happy and smiling going through the field, and it's just a cool looking card. So I really like this. I didn't put any Amphiroses on this list. Hint, hint. So this is the only one from the Mareep family line. But I really like this card. You can see how cool and detailed it is. And honestly, the more I think about it, I miss Pokemon cards with the yellow edges. Like, I don't mind the silver. Like, I don't hate it. But if I really had to pick, I would prefer the yellow edges around them. That's just, and I know a lot of people who wish they would bring that back. There was a rumor they were going to bring it back with the new set Mega Evolution, but they decided not to. So my number 8 is from Surging Sparks, and that is the illustration rare cast form. I mean, look at that. It's so cool. You see him in his sun form. You see him in his rain form. Right? He's all up high in the clouds, all smiling and everything. I like cast form. It's not like an all-time like top 10 favorite Pokemon, but it's such a cool, unique Pokemon where it physically changes its shape and its body for the weather condition. When I first unlocked it, my first time playing through Ruby and Sapphire, I thought it was such a cool gimmick. It's like, Cast Form was out and it started raining and it physically changed its body to look like a raindrop. I thought that was so cool as a kid. And then this card, this is actually the only card on this list I didn't pull myself. I bought it because I thought it was so cool. So I like the way it looks. I like its design. It's a really cool design, and it's a fun card. Right? Now my number 7, don't freak out that it's not in one of the magnetic cases. It's because this came from my binder. Those other ones are actually displayed in one of my cases. So this comes from Paradox Rift, and it is Minior. I love Minior's gimmick, the little comet from outer space. It was so sad in the Alolan or the oh my god, why am I drawing a blank? Sun and Moon. Oh my god. It's so sad in the Sun and Moon TV series that there's an episode where Minior show up, they crash down to Earth, they smile, and then they like basically die. And I'm just like, oh my god, this is for kids? But then you gotta remember, most Pokemon Pokedexes are not kid-friendly. I mean, there's literally Pokemon in their official Pokedex that say they kill children. So this is not a kid's game. But Minior is so cool, all the different colors. I love every game that has Minior in it. I always love trying to catch every different version of it. And the thing that sucks is in the newest game, Scarlet and Violet, you can't see what color it is until after you weaken it. So if you're trying to capture all the different colors, you either just roll the dice and throw a quick ball out or a fastball and try to catch the first one you see and hope it's the right color, or you attempt to weaken it and try not to kill it. So kind of sucks, but it's fun to capture them all. And I just love this one. I actually pulled this one too. I actually pulled this one recently. It was about not about a month ago. I found a pack of Paradox Rift and I got it. So I just love all the different design colors, how it's coming down from outer space. I think it's a cool card, and Minior's concept is pretty cool. Now, my number 8 is, and this is actually one of my favorite Pokemon just in general, and I love this Pokemon, and that is Destined Rivals. It is the Blaziken. I actually have like 4 of this card. I know, and I've pulled every single one of them. I have not bought this card. I have all 4 of them. I have it in my binder. I have it in my, 2 in my binder. 1 in my National Dex binder, and then 1 in my starter binder. Then I have 1 displayed on with Torchic and Combuskin, and then I have this one here in my case. But I love this card. It's actually not as rare as you think. Again, I've pulled 4 of them, and I haven't bought that many packs of Destined Rivals. I've actually bought more Journey Together and Black Bolt and White Flare. So this card, it's just cool. Again, Blaziken is one of my favorite Pokemon. He's easily my top 5 favorite Pokemon of all time. He's so cool. The only reason I don't use him more is because of Charizard. So that's why, for those of you who know and watch any of my other videos, Sceptile is usually my go-to from the Hoenn region, because when I'm building my team, I don't want 2 fire Pokemon, Charizard and Blaziken, so I put Sceptile in there instead, but Blaziken is my favorite over Sceptile, and this card just looks so cool. I mean, Blaziken cards always look cool. This one in particular, I also like the Infernape card that looks similar to this one, where like the way he's kicking and all that, but Blaziken is just an awesome Pokemon. He's just such a solid stacked Pokemon. All right, now, my top 5. This one, I was kind of bouncing around where to put this one, and I thought, yeah, I'll put him top 5. Because, again, it's based on the card, not the Pokemon. If it was based on the Pokemon solely, this would be a little bit higher, but based on the card, it's from Stellar Crown, and it is, got mixed up for a second, and it is the illustration rare Squirtle. Okay. I actually, when I pulled this one, it was my first illustration rare of any starter Pokemon that I pulled myself in a pack. So it was really cool to get one. Recently, I pulled some when I was a kid and all that, or when I was younger. But when I got back into the hobby because of my son, we pulled this, and it was so cool to see. I love how Squirtle's hanging out in the pool, and you see the Pidgeys that are all hanging around, and he's like shooting the water gun at one, while the other one's trying to sneak a drink bag there. It's just a cool card. I like its design. I love Squirtle. Again, Squirtle is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. It's easily my favorite first level Pokemon. Again, while Charizard is above Blastoise, Squirtle's above Charmander. I've said that before in other videos, but it's a cool Pokemon, and I like Pidgey too. Pidgey's probably my favorite regional bird, and I just think it's a cool all around card. Okay? Now, for my top four, my number four, I love this Pokemon. I think it's a little underrated. The newer decks that have been coming out recently have actually like Black Bolt and White Flare have kind of brought some attention back to this Pokemon, and I'm super glad. I almost put his I think it was Black Bolt, his Black Bolt version in here, but I really like this one better, and that's Timber. Okay? This one is from Twilight Masquerade. Now, this Timber, the reason I put this one is I think it's cool how it's like, I love these construction Pokemon ones. Like there's that Steelix one out there as well. I really like these where it shows the Pokemon actually helping out, like with construction, or that Skeledirge that's carrying the grocery bags and stuff. Because it's like, we always know Pokemon to be battling, but if you really look in the Pokemon universe and the Pokemon lore, most Pokemon aren't, most Pokemon owners aren't trainers. They're not battling. I mean, the vast majority of people, they might battle just for like some side fun, but the vast majority of people have Pokemon as pets, not as battle partners. So it's fun to see cards like this where it shows Pokemon other than just battling them, because this is what Pokemon would generally be used for if they were real. You're not going to see every single solitary 10-year-old or 20-year-old or whatever out there battling. They're going to be using them for this, to bring up Ash's mom. We're not going to get into it. I don't want this to get flagged. We're not going to get into it. But like Ash's mom with Mr. Mime, using him as basically a butler around the house, people who use like the Corviknights and the Squawkabillies in oh my God, Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet. I don't know why I'm having brain farts. You know how they use those for the taxi cab services, okay? Using Mudsdale to ride on him to get over obstacles, those types of things. That's what Pokemon would actually be used for. And then again, if we want, burgers, Miltank. And I have no problem with that because Miltank is... and if you've played Gold and Silver, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I just think cards like this are really cool because it shows what Pokemon would actually be used for versus just battling. Because again, not everyone's going to be a Pokemon trainer out battling and becoming, the world champion and stuff like Ash did. All right, now for my number three, my top three. I actually jumped between a couple different versions of this Pokemon. It was actually the same card. I have three illustration rares of this Pokemon. I pulled all three of them too. That's the best part. And I finally decided on this one because again, it goes with the same concept of my Timber. It doesn't show them in battling and stuff. This shows them as they would actually be, and that's basically a pet. And that is the Scarlet and Violet base set Riolu. And the reason I finally picked this one is I think this one's really cool because this one is it shows Riolu as like a little dog, and it's so cool because if you really look at it or really zoom in and see, you can see the living room all damaged and destroyed. It's like when you come home and your dog is like ripped up the couch and stuff. So it's, again, I like these cards that show Pokemon in everyday life because between the anime and the games and everything, and even the cards battling with them, we have this notion that the whole Pokemon world is all about battling. But if you actually look at the games and the movies and the lore and the TV shows and everything, the majority of people you see are not trainers. You only see a handful of trainers. I mean, even in the big tournaments, there's only like 100 people in those tournaments, if that. Some of them, like there was one of the seasons of Pokemon only had like 32 people in the original tournament. So this is what Pokemon would actually be used for. That's why I liked the Ruby and Sapphire series, the anime, because you still have May. May wasn't really a trainer, or a fighting trainer. She used her Pokemon for the beauty contest, right? And while I didn't like the beauty contest in the games, it just shows that there's more to Pokemon if they were real than just battling and fighting with them. And it's cool cards like this that I really like to see. Now, my final two, I love both these Pokemon, but the cards are just amazing. So even if I didn't like the Pokemon, the card would still make my list. So my number two, and you're actually going to see this again in a different video. I have another video down the road that I'm going to be working on later where I put Pokemon pairing, so like cards that go together. So my number two, this is from Paradox Rift, another one from Paradox Rift, and that's Gimme Goal. I love Gimme Ghoul. One of my things that I'm trying to work on right now is getting 1,000 of them. Because in the game, for those of you who don't know, in the game you collect 1,000 Gimme Ghoul coins and you can evolve it into a Goldingo. So I'm trying to collect 1,000 of these cards. I have like 100 of them. Not these cards, but just Gimme Ghoul. Most of them are like 10 cents. But I love this one because again, it's Gimme Ghoul with all the money in it around it. And if you look here, you can see the bottom half of Goldingo. There's actually the Goldingo card that pairs with this is Goldingo standing there looking like Gimme Ghoul that it attaches to the top of this card. So I'm actually going to show that in a different video down the road. But I mean, I just love Gimme Ghoul. I love his gimmick. Get it? Gimme Ghoul gimmick. I love my jokes. I love his gimmick. I love the way he looks. I love his setup. I love this Pokemon. Like, I will catch this Pokemon. When I do a new playthrough of Scarlet and Violet, I'll catch a Gimme Ghoul just to have him. I think he's so cool. I would love the ability to have just Gimme Ghoul outside of his treasure chest. But this is one of my favorite Pokemon. I easily put Gimme Ghoul in a top 25 list. Like, he's so cool. He's arguably my favorite Pokemon from Paldea. The only Pokemon I can think of that might pass him is maybe Pawmot or Skeletors. That's about it. But I love Gimme Ghoul, and this card specifically is so cool. And again, I pulled this card. The only cards I didn't pull was my Minior or my Cast Form, I mean. That was the only one I didn't pull out of this list. But yeah, that's a cool one. And then my last one, my all-time favorite Pokemon card that I own, that's not a Charizard, because again, Charizard's like my top 8 favorite. This one would probably be a top 9, honestly. I love this card, and I love this card even more with its partner card, and that's Deerling. I like Deerling and Sawsbuck. They're two of my favorite. They're one of my favorite Pokemon pairs. Easily my favorite Pokemon from the Unova region and Black and White. But I love this card because the whole point of Deerling, for those of you who don't know, is it changes its general look and theme based on the season. So like in the game, when it's winter, it'll change to a winter form, and then a fall, and then a summer, and then a spring, and all that. And on the card, you can see it has 3 seasons here, okay? Well, if you have the Sawsbuck card next to it, the Sawsbuck card continues it. So the Sawsbuck actually starts with pink, and they actually connect together. So if you put them side by side, it's just one continuous picture all the way across, and I love that. I actually pulled the Deerling. I hate to say it, but I bought the Sawsbuck because I just could not for the life of me get him. But I did pull the Deerling. So this one was so cool, and I love this card. Sawsbuck, I almost put Sawsbuck on this list. Like, I was actually going to do a pair, but I decided to do a different video instead. And that's why I didn't put the Goldingo either, because I'm going to do another video where I put pairs of Pokemon cards. So, like, cards that actually go together. Not like they look cool together, like they actually go together. I'm going to do a video on that later on, my favorite ones of those. This one and the Sawsbuck are easily going to be top 3, maybe even number 1 on that list. But I mean, it's just so cool. And again, I love when Pokemon cards go together like this. One of my favorite Charizard cards actually has that similar feature with a Mewtwo card. And I actually have both of those. I'm not going to show the Mewtwo one in this video. My next video, I'm going to show it in the one down the road. But yeah, this Deerling is so awesome. It is such a cool card. And Deerling and Sawsbuck are so cool. Sawsbuck I would probably put as easily one of my top 15 favorite Pokemon. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So there's my top 10 favorite Pokemon cards based on the card themselves, not including Charizard. I hope you liked the video. Stick around for my Charizard specific one, and then down the road I'll do one where I do the pairs of cards, so like the Goldingo, Gimme Ghoul, Deerling, Sawsbuck, and so on. So as always, stay beautiful, Americans. Love the room. USA all the way. All right, and peace.